Part 6. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 51. Shanjun Children's Aid Foundation. Su Menjiao received a call from the program team, and the whole person was stunned. What's going on? Shanjun, Children's Aid Foundation. How did this come together? Director, I don't understand what you mean. Su Menjiao inquired and finally figured it out. It turned out that the program team and the Dragon Country Safari Park had reached a cooperation. The two sides jointly set up a Children's Aid Foundation, and 80% of all the income from Shanjun's advertising, peripherals, and all income is used to help poor and disabled children. As for the remaining 20%, will be used as an administrative fee for both parties. As the breeder of Sankan, she also received benefits. Worked as an advisor to the foundation. You don't need to do anything, you can get a high salary every month. In addition to this, she is also fully responsible for Shanjun's account issues. That's right, Shanjun is going to open an account. Su Menjiao couldn't laugh or cry. Is worthy of being a capitalist, and his ability to make money is really unexpected. Even the tigers were woolened by them. The point is, it's really possible to succeed. With Shanjun's current popularity, it does have commercial value. Su Menjiao looked at the big tiger lying on the ground, feeling that this was her fateful nobleman. No, it's a hit for Gihu. The salary of the foundation's consultants reaches 100,000 yuan per month. 10 times higher than her current salary. In addition, she also has a share of the income of the account. Although there are very few. But it's also an income. Su Menjiao went to the vehicle and took out the notebook. Sister Menjiao, what are you doing? Su Tao stepped forward and leaned her little head over Shanjun's account. Su Tao looked surprised. The program team asked. Su Menjiao said calmly. With the successful creation of the account, the star account was immediately verified. What surprised the two women even more was the number of fans is increasing dramatically. 10,000. 100,000. A million. On the other side, Chu Bai, who was lying in the shade of the tree, heard the sound of the system. Hint, you killed the crocodile. Devouring talent takes effect, you gain 6,000 flesh essence. Hint, you get add 2 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 2 crit card. Hint, do you use critical hit cards? 6,000 flesh essence. Chu Bai showed a look of surprise. The giant crocodile is worth so much flesh and blood essence. To be honest, although it has been a battle for a long time. But in his heart, the giant crocodile was not a beast of prey. In addition to being flexible, the giant crocodile is really not as aggressive as the Lion King. Use critical hit cards. Chu Bai said in his heart. Hint, you're using a critical hit card. Hint, flesh essence reaches super perfect crit x 199, for a total of 1.2 million flesh essence. Hint, analog card crit x2, a total of 4 cards. Hint, crit card crit x2, 4 cards in total. Hint, do you want to extract? After the extraction, Chu Bai continued to cool down. Time passes. The sun is setting, and the remnant sun is like blood. On the other side, Su Menjiao, Su Tao, and the others were dumbfounded. Sankan's fans continue to grow. That's a terrifying growth rate. 3 million. 5 million. 10 million. 40 million. In just half a day, the fans of Shanjun's account reached 40 million. What is this concept? Comparable to a star on a global scale. It's a global social platform, for the world. Even a certain former president of Eagle Sauce understands the king, and his fans are only 80 million. That's an exaggeration, isn't it? Su Tao's eyes widened. It's night, no words. As the sun rose, Su Menjiao and the others got up in the dawn. Not surprisingly, they really saw the Mountain King exercising. Even Shanjun is so self-disciplined, I'm going to exercise too. Su Tao clenched her small fists. Don't be tired after a few minutes of exercise. Su Menjiao rolled her eyes. Meanwhile, Chu Bai was still exercising. He's already run around the territory. As he ran, he expanded his territory again. A full 40 kilometers. The scope is terrifying. Comparable to a large lion league. What's more, the Lion Alliance guards the territory, and there are many Lion Kings, and he needs exaggerated dominance to defend this huge territory alone. Chu Bai is a very picky eater. Therefore, the dishes of the territory should be rich. Naturally, he had to expand his territory to include more dishes. In addition to that, Chu Bai changed to a new home. It is a small oasis in the heart of the territory. In addition to the mountains, the vegetation is also very lush. The animals inside are even more varied, which is very suitable for Chu Bai's rule. Of course, there are many intruders. Spotted hyenas, jackals, cheetahs, and even lions. As a small oasis with lush vegetation, Chu Bai was mentally prepared to fight. Hoo-hoo! A whistling sound broke through the air. Chu Bai stood up and kept waving his claws. In addition to strengthening his own speed, whether the lightning strike can be used on the tiger's claw is something he is very curious about. If you can use it, will his meow punch be faster? For example, before the lion waved his claws, he had already slapped dozens of claws on the lion's head. In addition to evolving one's own physique, this is also the direction of strengthening. Chu Bai deeply understood. He also needs to intensify attacks on all fronts. After all, he has occupied the small oasis, and countless challengers will swarm him, and he doesn't want to run away in disgrace. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 52. That's Meow Boxing. Seeing Chu Bai's strange behavior, netizens in the live broadcast room were dumbfounded. Wouldn't it? What the hell is wrong with the world? On how terrible the tiger of self-discipline is, please look at the Mountain King. Netizens were happy and ridiculed. Looking at my fat belly, and then at the self-disciplined Shanjun, I decided to lose weight. And so it went on for several days. In addition to patrolling the territory, Chu Bai was practicing meow boxing. Not to mention, it works. In this way, he is in the right direction. Start the simulation. After Chu Bai asked Su Menjiao and the others to help him take a cold shower, he lay down in the shade of the tree, ready to consume the analog card. Simulation begins. Your current status, Intermediate Tiger King. Day 1, as the mighty Tiger King, you have captured a small oasis in the grassland, which is lush with vegetation and is a treasure trove for countless carnivores. Chu Bai was a little surprised. The situation simulated this time is timely. Same as what he's doing so far. That is, the simulation may predict what will happen next. Thinking of this, Chu Bai read it carefully. Day 2, you patrol your territory. Day 3, a pack of spotted hyenas arrives. It turns out that this is a place where the spotted hyena legion often hunts, and you release the tiger power to scare off the spotted hyena legion. Day 4, nothing happens. Day 5, the spotted hyena legion is here again, and with the hyena queen under the leadership, there are more than 30 hyenas gathered this time, and the number is very terrifying. Day 6, you confronted the spotted hyena legion for a day. They finally attacked, under the leadership of the hyena queen. They swarmed, for food, for survival. You broke out into a fierce battle, you killed more than a dozen spotted hyenas, shocked this legion. When night comes, they recede for a moment. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 6,000 flesh units. Sure enough. Chubai knew it in his heart. From the moment he turned the small oasis into a national territory, he was mentally prepared. Bitter fighting, there must be. However, he was not afraid at all. As the mighty Tiger King, the only thing that can threaten him is the legion creatures. For example, jackals, hyenas, lions, etc. Immediately, he continued to watch. Day 7, the spotted hyenas come back for revenge. You start the lightning attack, adrenaline, kill the hyena queen, kill dozens of hyenas. Note, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 14,000 flesh units. Day 8, nothing happens. Day 9, 3 wandering lions invade the territory, you kill them to maintain the dignity of the Tiger King. Day 10, you declare the rise. Day 11, the 2 lion kings of the Yugoslav Federation are coming, and you will be repelled if you overwhelm the 2 lion kings. Day 12, nothing happens. Day 13, the 2 lion kings of the Yugoslav Federation attack again, you start the lightning attack, adrenaline, and kill the 2 lion kings. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 8,000 flesh units. Hint, you get add 1 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 1 crit card. 2 lion kings. Chubai muttered to himself. The brain is running fast. His current strength is already capable of overpowering 2 lion kings. Once the skill is activated, the 2 lion kings are no match for him either. In other words, he can now deal with at least 3 lion kings. Thinking of this, Chubai breathed a sigh of relief. All along, he was most worried about the lions of the alliance. After all, 2 fists are hard to beat for. But his current strength seems to be enough to protect himself. Just evolve again. He will be able to challenge the Lions League. Day 14, 5 wandering male lions invaded your territory, and you activated your skills on the ground, killing 3 male lions and expelling 2 male lions. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 6,000 flesh units. Hint, you get add 1 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 1 crit card. Day 15, nothing happens. If it's the Lion King, I can crush the 3 heads. If you are an ordinary male lion, it seems that 5 male lions are no match for me. Chubai was very satisfied. This is more accurate combat data. In this way, his future strategy can be more daring. Whether it's expanding the territory, or fighting against the Lion Alliance that is coming because of the expansion of the territory, he can make the wisest decisions. For now, it should be able to keep the little oasis. Chubai muttered to himself, and he had an estimate in his heart. With the exception of the most powerful Bad Boys League and the Lions of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, the other Lions group could hardly pose a threat to him. Of course, there are prerequisites for this. The number should not exceed 5. Even if there are more than 5 ordinary male lions, it is equivalent to tricky. Although Chubai is not afraid. But you have to consider whether it will hurt or not. Unlike the lions who live in groups, he is a lone ranger and is not allowed or injured. Either you don't fight, or you win. This is his credo. This is also the rule of preserving itself in this cruel grassland. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 53. Chubai read it carefully, these are all extremely important battle data. Immediately, he continued to watch. Day 16, the Lions of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia arrive, you fight 5 against 1, and the 2 sides point to the end, and you expel the Lions of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Day 17, you are famous, many tourists are coming. Day 18, you can still distinguish a saturated meal and a full meal, and you are very cooperative with tourists to take pictures. Day 19, nothing happens. Day 20, nothing happens. Day 21, the tourists are gone, and the grassland is once again the weak. Day 22, the bad boys arrive, and in order to assert your authority, you fearlessly charge towards them, and after a fierce battle, you are seriously wounded, but also the 3 Lion Kings, expelling them from your territory. Number 23, day, nothing happens. Day 24, your fame spreads throughout the steppes. Day 25, a day of recuperation. Chubai's eyes lit up. This time the data is more important. The bad boys are by far the most powerful alliance of lions, and they are feared by all lions. Being able to banish the bad boys means that he has been able to protect himself. At least the Lion Alliance doesn't dare to be presumptuous. Wants the fight to the death. Even if he dies. You can also take away 3 Lion Kings. This is an unacceptable loss for the bad boys, so they are bound to fight to the death. As for the dominant side, that's going to depend on the next evolution. Number 26, Heaven, 3 Goryeo tigers arrived, and in order to grab the territory, you broke out into a fight, and you killed the 3 Goryeo tigers. Hint, the devouring talent takes effect, and you gain 6,000 flesh essence. Hint, you get add 1 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 1 crit card. Day 27, nothing happens. Day 28, you hunted a rhinoceros. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1000 flesh essence. Day 29, you hunt the elephant and fail. Day 30, you hunted a hippopotamus. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1000 flesh essence. Day 31, you continue to expand your territory, and finally arouse the jealousy of the bad boy army. You break out again, you are 1 against 6, extremely fierce, you kill a Lion King, but you are also seriously injured, you escape. Hint, the devouring talent takes effect, and you gain 3000 flesh essence. Day 32, nothing happens. Day 33, the bad boys army came to take revenge, because you were seriously injured and could not escape, you could only choose to fight to the death, and when you died, you exchanged 1 for 2 and killed 2 Lion Kings. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 6000 flesh units. Hint, gene optimization. Genes. Chubai's eyes flickered. What happens to genetic optimization? So far, this has never been the case with an evolutionary simulator. After a while, the system sounded. Hint, in this extreme battle, your roar is deafening, and with the help of the system, you have surpassed the limits of sound and obtained sound optimizations. Hint, you have optimized a new skill, Thunder Roar. Thunder Roar, under the normal air pressure of the planet, the maximum sound will not exceed 194 decibels, and once it is exceeded, energy will be generated, which will form a shock wave. The thunder roar has exceeded the sound limit under normal air pressure, causing a violent impact on enemies within 1 meter of the front, and will also cause the enemy to temporarily lose their hearing. Hint, skills have been optimized. Hint, your current body strength is not enough to withstand such a shock wave, and the evolution simulator has been urgently modified and optimized. Hint, the attack range of the shock wave is 1 meter, once it exceeds 1 meter, the shock wave will quickly weaken from the energy state to the sound, so as to protect the host from harm and not hurt the innocent. End of simulation. This simulation you get 51,000 flesh essence, crit card add 3, simulation card add 3, thunder roar. Do you use crit card? Use critical hit cards. Chubai said in his heart. Hint, you use critical hit cards. Hint, flesh energy reaches perfect crit x 199, for a total of 10 million flesh essence. Hint, analog card crit x2, a total of 6 cards. Hint, crit card crit x2, 6 cards in total. Hint, thunder roar is the limit of the current genes, and unless you unlock a more advanced gene, you can't crit and strengthen. Hint, whether to extract or not. Extraction. Chu Bai's heart was ecstatic. Thunder roars, very strong skills. It's no exaggeration to say that the skill seems to go beyond the realm of normal creatures. Don't look at the shockwave's attack range is only 1 meter, but in a life and death fight, this 1 meter range is enough to kill. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 54. Good. Chu Bai hooked the corners of his mouth. With the thunder roar skill, he has the confidence to stand up against the lions. Even the most powerful army of bad boys. Past wins and losses. It's about 3 or 7 open. He is 3, and the bad boys' army is 7. Now with this skill, the victory and defeat have become 5 or 5. You know, the bad boys have 6 powerful lion kings, one of which is also known as the King of Lions. Being able to play with the bad boys is enough to explain the problem? No doubt. This skill is very powerful. Once the sound exceeds the limit, it ceases to be a sound, but becomes a kind of energy, a shock wave. This is also the direction of development of shockwave weapons. Now he has this weapon. Very powerful weapon. The bottom line is, the evolution simulator has been optimized. This shockwave does not injure itself and poses no threat to nearby creatures beyond a meter radius. Chu Bai liked this very much. After all, he didn't want to be caught slice yet. Wait for the next breakthrough, he may be able to have the combat power to suppress the bad boy army and completely dominate the grassland. Chu Bai's heart moved, and the data layout appeared in the field of vision. Name, Chu Bai. Race, South China Tiger. Combat power evaluation, Intermediate Tiger King, 46 million/100 million. Talent, devour flesh. Talent, heart of the Tiger King, the tiger defeated by you will be in awe of you and have a tendency to surrender. Skill, tiger might, deterrence, intimidation. Skill, lightning strike. Skill, adrenaline. Skill, thunder roar, shockwave. Weight, 325 kilograms, your weight will directly affect all your data. Palm power, 1450 kilograms. Bite force, 960 kilograms. Speed, 44 m/s. Lifespan, 30 years. Analog card, 10. Critical hit card, 8. Continue the simulation. Chu Bai didn't hesitate, and consumed the remaining simulation cards and crit cards first. 10 analog cards. It should be able to increase a lot of cultivation. When the time comes, he will be able to hunt some powerful prey and get some simulation cards, and he should be able to break through the current realm. Although he was strong, the crisis also followed. This simulation was a coincidence. On the first day, the small oasis was occupied. This coincides with what he's doing now, and shows that anything he encounters in the simulation can happen in reality. Spotted Hyena Legion. The Lions of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Mighty bad boy army. He's going to punch the Yugoslav Federation and kick the rhythm of the bad boys. So, he has to increase his combat power like crazy in the next few days. Soon, the simulation ended. This time, get 4 million flesh essence. The second time, 3 million. The third time, 2 million. Fourth, 4 million. After consuming 10 simulated cards, Chu Bai obtained 24 million flesh essences, and at the same time obtained 4 simulated cards again. Continue the simulation. Chu Bai was determined to break through. The 11th, 3 million flesh essence. 12th, 2 million. 13th, 2 million. 14th, 5 million. Total, 12 million, plus a mock card. Chu Bai continued to consume. 15th, 6 million. All of them were calculated, and he obtained 42 million flesh and blood essences. It only takes about 10 million to break through. 10 million. I guess it's been a few days. Thinking that he was about to break through, Chu Bai was in a good mood. After patrolling the territory, he prepares to hunt large animals and obtain a simulation card breakthrough. On the steppe, Chu Bai ran wildly. Although the environment is cruel, he is about to stand at the top of the food chain. To be exact, it is the food chain of animals. After all, no matter how strong animals are, they can't be stronger than humans. Of course, Chu Bai was not discouraged. He has an evolution simulator, and this time he has obtained a thunder roar that goes beyond the biological realm, and if his genes evolve again, will he be able to resist guns? After a while, Chu Bai locked onto the target. A robust rhinoceros. The more dangerous the target of the hunt, the higher the odds of getting a mock card. What is Shanjun doing? It wouldn't want to hunt rhinos, would it? On the shooting vehicle, Su Menjiao and others were dumbfounded. Rhinoceros. Large animals. It is a very dangerous existence. With the strength of Shanjun, it should be a small thing, right? Su Tao's face was full of admiration, and he had blind confidence in Shanjun. It's no small thing. Su Menjiao's face was gloomy. As a staff member in this area, she is well aware of the horror of rhinos. The sharp horns at the tip of the skull, the sheer size, the furious charge, as long as he is accidentally pushed, even Shanjun will be seriously injured. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 55. Wouldn't it? Tiger King wants to hunt rhinos. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens were stunned. The terrible deterrent power of rhinos, anyone who knows it. The sharp horns on the skull, the rough skin, and the huge size all mean that this big guy is fierce. It's all about looking for death. The most important thing is, there's a smaller rhinoceros next to it. Shanjun still chooses the biggest. Isn't this looking for death? Self-confidence is good, but pride comes at a cost. For a while, the barrage of Western netizens flew up. Afraid of what? The mountain monarch has even hunted giant crocodiles. A rhinoceros is huge, but it can be bigger than a giant crocodile. Netizens gossiped and had blind confidence in Shanjun's strength. It's all layman. You don't understand the difference between a rhinoceros and a giant crocodile. At this time, some netizens from the tropical continent came out to explain. Is there a difference? I don't think rhinoceros is as good as giant crocodiles. The netizens of the tropical continent shook their heads helplessly and explained, it's normal that you don't understand, giant crocodiles look more dangerous, but insiders know that rhinos are more aggressive. Any explanation? For a while, everyone became curious. Of course there is. First of all, apart from its size and bite force, what other means of attack does the giant crocodile have? No. In other words, in fact, the giant crocodile's killing method is to pull the prey into the water and drown, and other than that, there is no more. It seems to make sense. But it doesn't seem like much. The netizen continued, and the bite force of the rhinoceros is not inferior to that of a crocodile, as well as a thick skin, and a very lethal horn, and the defense and attack capabilities are extremely strong. In the grassland, a single male lion does not dare to provoke an adult rhinoceros, and in terms of combat effectiveness, tigers and lions are almost the same, so the mountain king will not bargain for hunting rhinos. What's more, Shanjun also selects the largest rhinoceros. Once the duel, the rhinoceros is a violent temper, the huge impact and its sharp horns. As long as Shanjun is topped, he basically loses his combat ability, and if he is trampled, his life is in danger. Now you get it, right? Giant crocodiles in the water are more dangerous. However, rhinos are more aggressive. It seems to make sense. After analysis, all netizens also thought about it. So, it's looking for death. If it's an ordinary rhinoceros, even if the mountain king fails to hunt, he can escape with his whole body, but it's a pity. It chose the biggest rhinoceros. Hearing the analysis, Western netizens came to the spirit. At the same time, on the steppe, Chubai lay on his stomach in the bushes, waiting for the best opportunity. Rhinos in herds. Naturally, you can't mess around. He had to wait for his chance to be alone. This rhinoceros is huge, it should be more than 400 kilograms, Chubai muttered to himself. Suffice it to say, the odds of getting a simulation card are high. That's why he hunts rhinos. Of course, he knew the rhinoceros's size, horns, and impact, but he didn't take the rhinoceros in his eyes at all. To be honest, rhinos are still too bulky. Such an animal. By no means his opponent. What's more, he has 3 more skills. If he can't even handle the rhinoceros, he simply goes home and raises pigs. After a while, Chubai's eyes lit up. The rhinoceros is gradually falling alone. Seemingly relying on its huge size, the black rhinoceros gradually fell out of the group. Good opportunity. Chubai followed unhurriedly and slowly. He walked with catwalks, tiptoeing through the bushes. Wouldn't it? Shanjun really wants to hunt this big guy. In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens were dumbfounded. After the analysis of netizens in the tropical continent, they knew the danger of this big rhinoceros. However, Shanjun still acted. That's courage. The strong challenge the stronger. Maybe this is the charm of Tiger King. For a while, netizens couldn't help but sigh. Such a mountain gentleman. That's exactly why they like it. If they leave when they encounter danger, then Shanjun is like an ordinary tiger. Is it still necessary for them to powder Shanjun? Is this courage? This is obviously looking for death, okay. Western netizens couldn't get used to it and sneered. I think Shanjun is going to test and tempt, and if I really find that it can't be beaten, it will definitely retreat. That's how it should be. After all, the tiger is a lone ranger. If you are injured, it means death. After a while, Li Zonk analyzed it for a while. In the live broadcast room, the host Lisabelle also asked, Professor Kupil, what do you think? Professor Kupil's face was calm, and he said lightly, I think the netizen just now is right, Shanjun may just be a tentative attack, not really hunting rhinos, which is not good for tigers who live alone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 56. In the bushes, lurk the most terrible killers. Chubai was very patient. If you want to get a simulation card, you can't rush it. When the rhinoceros was alone and away from the group, he finally set out. Bang! There was an explosion, and he rushed out like an arrow. Its speed is blistering, and it quickly approaches the rhinoceros. Wouldn't it? Shanjun really wants to go up. Looking at this scene, netizens couldn't believe it. After Professor Kupil's analysis, everyone thought that Shanjun was just testing the strength of the rhinoceros, but they didn't expect it to really be on it. It's completely unnecessary. With the strength of the Mountain King, there is little to worry about food issues. So, why would it provoke such a large animal? Thousands of netizens are very puzzled. This does not conform to the code of conduct for predation. The mountain is in danger. This rhinoceros doesn't want to kill the Mountain King. As long as it is seriously injured, it can hardly gain a foothold in the grassland. For a while, Western netizens became excited. Boom boom boom. Chubai's speed was fast, rolling up puffs of dust and smoke. The rhinoceros also noticed the movement at this time, and as soon as he turned his head to look, he saw that a fierce beast that he had never seen before was approaching. Bang dash! Chubai bowed down violently, and then flew down on the rhinoceros, his claws easily tearing open the rough skin. Moo! The rhinoceros let out a terrible wail. Immediately, the big guy became irritable. It rushed out violently, and with the help of the power of the charge, it threw Chubai off. After a while, it turned its head to look at Chubai. Bang bang! Bang bang! The rhinoceros shaved its forelimbs, its eyes full of anger. Boom! In the next second, the big guy was like a giant chariot, rushing towards Chubai like a thunderbolt. Between the lightning and flint, the figure flickered. Chubai dodged the charge. The rhinoceros charge is indeed terrifying, but it is still too slow. Or rather, it's too bulky. With Chubai's flexibility, it is impossible for the rhinoceros to find an opportunity. The next second, he pounced. Whew! The figure flickered, and the meow fist hit out like a storm. Puff! Puff! Suddenly, blood splattered. Even the thick skin of a lion was helpless, but it was easily torn apart by Chubai. The rhinoceros wails. There were countless extra blood marks on his body. No matter how irritable it is, it will never touch Chubai. Shanjun seems to be able to deal with this big guy. On the vehicle not far away, Su Menjiao and the others breathed a sigh of relief. It's worthy of the mountain. Su Tao's face was full of adoration. At the same time, there was a discussion in the live broadcast room. What's the situation? Seems to be relaxed. Thousands of netizens Flax was stunned. This is completely different from what was predicted. In the professor's analysis, shouldn't this be a bitter battle? Even if you are not careful, you will be seriously injured. But what's happening now? The mountain gentleman is strolling leisurely. The rhinoceros, on the other hand, is incompetent and furious, with more and more scars on its body. Hee, how easy is this? You're not blind, are you? It's obviously the Mountain King who is helpless against the rhinoceros, right? Western netizens laughed, as if they saw the other side of the matter. Yamakan seems to be relaxed. The rhinoceros seems to be incompetent and ragey. But is there a possibility? Shanjun actually has nothing to do with rhinos. Wait. Look at the size of the Mountain King. Oriental netizens didn't answer at all and ignored these ridicules. Shankan's size doesn't seem to be small. I used to think that the size of the Mountain King has changed dramatically, but now when I compare it to the rhinoceros, this is too exaggerated, right? For a while, thousands of netizens were shocked. Rhinoceros, it is called a giant chariot. Even if the lion is in front of the rhinoceros, it has to be smaller. The size of the mountain monarch is also not as large as that of the rhinoceros, but this contrast is not obvious, but highlights the huge size of the mountain monarch. Is the food too good? It's changed too much. Compared to before, it's like a child and an adult. Netizens talked a lot. Shocked by the change in the size of the Mountain King. On the other side, the battle is over. To be precise, Chubai thought it was over. This big guy is too bulky to be his match at all. Death, it's only a matter of time. But the rhinoceros herd in the distance had already noticed the situation here and was rushing frantically. Chubai didn't waste time and decided to make a quick decision. Let's bleed you first. Chubai pounced, and the meow fist turned into a storm. A wail rang out, and blood splattered. Just a moment. The rhinoceros is scarred. The surrounding bushes have been dyed red, and the rhinoceros can only rage impotently. With the passage of time, the rhinoceros resistance is getting weaker and weaker. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 57. With the helpless wail of the rhinoceros, it was only a matter of time before Chu-Bai achieved victory. "It's my dream tiger." Not far away, Su-Tao's big eyes on the vehicle twinkled with stars. "Shanjun is really terrifying." The rest of the staff began to discuss. "That's it? It's over." In the live broadcast room, thousands of netizens lost their minds. The battle was completely different from what had been speculated, and before they could react, the battle seemed to be coming to an end. What happened? What did Shanjun do again? Thousands of netizens were collectively stunned. They had witnessed the battle, but they didn't seem to have seen it completely. Shanjun just simply pounced, and then used Meow Meow Fist, and the battle was inexplicably close to the end. Shanjun is awesome. Not at all on one level. I don't know what Mr. Beast thinks. For a while, netizens joked. Professor Kapil frowned and muttered, "To be honest, this battle was beyond my expectations. It seems to be a battle, but it doesn't seem to be a complete battle. The rhinoceros just succumbed. It's weird. Is there a possibility that Shanjun is too strong?" Sun Wei smiled beside him. "It doesn't make sense." Professor Kapil was very puzzled. It stands to reason that rhinoceros, as a large animal, should not be so strange in battle even if it is not defeated by the Mountain King. Whatever the reason, Shanjun is right. Even the professor can't analyze the strength of Shanjun, but you can imagine its strength. Boom. On the grassland, a huge rhinoceros crashed to the ground. The big guy was scarred, and the most fatal injury was the bite mark on the neck. Boom. Suddenly, a roar rang out. Chu-Bai turned his head to look and saw more than a dozen rhinoceros charging over. Their might was amazing, even he didn't dare to resist such a charge head-on. "It's a pity, it's too slow." Chu-Bai flashed slightly, easily avoiding the charge of the rhinoceros herd. In the face of such an offensive, he not only did not fear, but launched an attack on the rhinoceros crowd. For a moment, blood splattered. Seeing that their companions were dead and that the battle was no longer necessary, the rhinoceros retreated in a hurry. After a while, the system sound sounded. "Hint, you killed a large rhinoceros. Hint, you have gained 4,000 flesh essence. Hint, do you use critical hit cards? Didn't get a demo card." Chu-Bai was stunned. "Isn't that in vain? Judging from the flesh and blood essence, this big rhinoceros is even more dangerous than a lion." But even then, he didn't get a simulation card. "Forget it, take your time." Chu-Bai didn't dwell too much. It's been almost a month and he's grown into a patient hunter. After a full meal, Chu-Bai lay in the shade of the tree to enjoy the shade. Wow! At that moment, a howl rang out. Chu-Bai turned his head to look, only to see hyenas appear in his field of vision. Not long after, a large herd of hyenas is infested. Roar dash! Chu-Bai roared, scaring the cheetah herd away. Although he was full, he had no intention of giving the rhinoceros carcass to the hyena. This creature is huge. If they are given enough food, they can reproduce in large enough quantities to pose a threat to any living being. Soon, the hyena returned. "Is it so brave?" Chu-Bai pounced, and a roar was deafening. "He's the Tiger King. Authority brooks no provocation." Whoa! With a howl, the hyena queen appears. And what came with it? There are also legions of large herds of hyenas. Look for death. Chu-Bai pounced on it. In a flash of lightning, he fought his way into the hyena army, as fast as lightning. By the time the hyena reacted, he had launched a ferocious attack. Bang! Chu-Bai's tiger claws swung out, and a hyena was slapped to the ground. Woo-woo! The hyena howled bitterly. Under Chu-Bai's terrifying power, its head had been cracked, and its brain seemed to have been beaten out. In the next second, he charged again. In just a moment, 5 or 6 hyenas died. The hyenas scattered and fled, not daring to confront him head-on, but they also refused to give up the food in their mouths. In this way, the two sides confronted each other. Chubai lay on the side. The hyena army could only watch the hearty food from afar, but they never dared to step forward. A big rhinoceros is enough for a pack of hyenas to report a meal. But there are terrible hunters in front of them. Damn, what's that? It can't be brains, right? In the live broadcast room, netizens were dumbfounded. With just a tiger's claw, the hyena was photographed as a concussion? The skulls are cracked. Is that fluid a brain? This power is terrifying, isn't it? If this hits people, then what's the point? It's not that I'm bragging, Shanjun is actually average. If I fight against it, it slaps down, and I definitely don't say a word. Because the slap man is gone. Netizens were happy and ridiculed. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 58. Roar dash. With a war cry, the hyena legion did not dare to move. Chubai stood proudly. As if the real hegemon. But he still underestimated the hyena's obsession with food, and even though he killed 5 or 6 hyenas with lightning speed, they still didn't go away. Wow! The hyena queen howls. Whoa! After a while, the group of dogs approached Chubai one after another. Hyenas are too bold, aren't they? You even dare to provoke the Mountain King. In the live broadcast room, everyone can't imagine. Hyenas are one of the overlords of the grasslands, relying on their large numbers, often snatching food from the mouths of lions. Although the Mountain King is brave, he is always a lone ranger. No matter how fast it is, it only has a pair of claws and a pair of fangs. The hyena drags it with half of it, and the other half can also pose a big threat to it from behind. The battle is on. Suddenly, everyone's eyes lit up. I saw that the mountain monarch was not afraid at all, and actually took the initiative to charge towards the hyena army. Boom! The beast ran wildly, rolling up puffs of smoke and dust. Bang bang bang! The sound of a pounding heartbeat sounded. Faced with such a huge number, Chubai decided to go all out. Lightning strike, on. Adrenaline, on. In the next second, he thundered into the hyena army. Bang! He waved his claws, and a hyena was shot 5 or 6 meters away, his eyes were bloodshot, and he fell to the ground and convulsed, obviously not alive. In a few moments, countless hyenas attacked. Despite their large numbers, Chubai was extremely fast. He's constantly out of position, constantly pulling. In just a moment, more than a dozen hyenas died. As the overlord of the grassland, the hyena army can't even resist under Chubai's hands. This is not a fight. Rather, it was a massacre. With a wail, most of the hyena army was wiped out. Whew! With a roar, the hyena queen rushed over with a large herd of hyenas. Chubai was not afraid. Kill the past violently. In an instant, hyenas fell in a pool of blood. Chubai's claws were cleaved out, and the head of a hyena was split into a deep ravine. Wow! In the next second, 5 or 6 hyenas appeared behind Chubai. Since he had just killed a few hyenas, his body was in a state of closing up and he couldn't dodge at all. In the next second, the hyena bit over. Look for death. At this time, Chubai was still not afraid. He turned his head to look, his eyes widened, and he opened his bloody mouth and roared. Roar dash! A deafening roar rang out. The bodies of the 5 or 6 hyenas shook, and they all flew out of the way by the violent shock wave, and fell to the ground convulsions, and their eyes were bleeding. What just happened? The king of the mountains turned his head and roared, and the hyena flew out. In the live broadcast room, netizens were shocked. At that moment, the hyena was indeed shaken away. Also, I was wearing headphones, and the sound made my eardrums hurt a little. Is it the lion's roar? What kind of lion roar? It's obviously a tiger's roar, okay. For a while, netizens talked about it. It's a really weird scene. Obviously, Shanjun didn't do anything. But 5 or 6 hyenas flew out anyway. Could it be a problem with the angle of the drone? We didn't see the Mountain King attack. I guess so. The drone's lens is indeed far away. After all, Shanjun's speed is too fast. If you don't zoom out, you can't see it at all. The crowd discussed. It was thought to be a matter of perspective. It's impossible that Shanjun really roared the hyena away, right? No one believes this kind of thing, let alone dares to believe it. Meanwhile, the battle is coming to an end. Chu Bai almost destroyed the hyena army with a devastating force. In the bushes, he is chasing the hyena queen. Boom! With a loud bang, Chu Bai pounced out, and slapped the hyena queen to the ground, and her brain was slapped into paste. Hint, you killed 24 hyenas. Hint, you have gained 12,000 flesh essence. Hint, you get add 1 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 1 crit card. Analog card. Chu Bai was stunned. He was very serious about hunting rhinoceros just now, and he didn't get a simulation card, but now he easily killed the hyena army, and he actually got a simulation card and a crit card. Could it be that in the assessment of the system, the hyena legion is more dangerous than the rhinoceros? Chu Bai muttered to himself. However, it doesn't seem to matter anymore. Now the most important thing is simulation. With only more than 10 million flesh and blood essences to be promoted, how could Chu Bai endure such a temptation? As long as he is promoted, nothing can threaten him, even the Lion Alliance has nothing to fear. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 59. Start the simulation. Chu Bai didn't waste time, and immediately consumed the analog card he obtained. Simulation begins. Your current status, Intermediate Tiger King. Day 1, in the Heartland, you occupy the small oasis. Day 2, you hunted elephants, and you almost succeeded. Chu Bai became interested. After killing the rhinoceros, he did want to hunt elephants. As the largest creature in the grasslands, hunting elephants is sure to earn simulation cards. But he never made up his mind. No way. The elephants are too huge. With such a large body size, you can get injured if you are not careful. But now it's good. The simulation has already given the answer, it almost worked. In other words, as long as he plans in detail and pays attention to details, he has a chance of success. Immediately, he continued to watch. Day 3, 3 Goryeo tigers arrive. In order to fight for this small oasis, you break out into a battle, you defeat the 3 Goryeo tigers, they release the signal of alliance, you refuse. Day 4, nothing happens. Day 5, a Siberian tiger arrives, you fight with it, use skills to defeat it, such strength makes you move the heart of subduation, you arrange the Siberian tiger at the border, escort the small oasis. Day 6, nothing happens. Day 7, you hunt elephants again and fail. Day 8, your third elephant hunt, successful. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 10,000 flesh units. Hint, you get add 1 for your demo card. Hint, you get add 2 crit card. Succeeded. Chu Bai was overjoyed in his heart. In this way, he may be able to put elephant hunting on his agenda. Hunting such a behemoth is a symbol of strength. Day 9, the lions of the Federal Alliance invade the small oasis. You turn on the skill, with one enemy of 5, you do not fall behind, and expel the 5 lion kings. Day 10, you declare the rise. Day 11, the lions of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia are here again. You have a big battle. At this time of crisis, you start a lightning attack, adrenaline, kill a lion king with absolute strength, and use the thunder roar to deter other lion kings and expel them. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 4,000 flesh units. Day 12, nothing happens. Day 13, a day of recuperation. Sure enough. Chubai muttered. His current strength is indeed able to form an alliance with the powerful lions. If you don't work hard, he can even suppress the 5-headed Lion King. But once the Lion Alliance is desperate, it may also be replaced with him. So, he urgently needs a breakthrough. Day 14, the Bad Boys army arrives, facing the 6-headed Lion King. You choose to protect the territory, but because you are seriously injured, you can't fight the 6-headed Lion King, so you can only escape. Day 15, nothing happens. Day 16, you continue to recuperate, waiting for the day of revenge. Day 17, you killed a hippopotamus. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 4,000 flesh units. Day 18, your injuries are getting better. Day 19, nothing happens. The shortcomings of the Lone Ranger are too obvious. Chubai muttered to himself. The male lion can get hurt, but he can't. Even if a male lion is injured, it does not affect the food source, and he is injured and difficult to hunt. Day 20, after fully recovering from your injuries, you return to the little oasis, ready to retake the territory, and start a big battle with the bad boys. Day 21, nothing happens. Day 22, you fight the bad boys again, banishing them. Number 23, day, nothing happens. Day 24, you killed a rhinoceros. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 4,000 flesh units. Day 25, you killed a great oryx. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1,000 flesh units. Number 26, day, on this night, the bad boys attacked you, and you killed 2 lion kings in anger, but you also died in the siege. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 8,000 flesh essence. End of simulation. In this simulation, you get 31,000 flesh essence, crit card add 2, simulation card add 1, do you use crit card? Use critical hit cards. Chubai said in his heart. Hint, you use critical hit cards. Hint, flesh energy reaches perfect crit x 99, with a total of 3 million flesh essence. Hint, mock card critical hit failed, a total of 1 card. Hint, crit card crit x2, 4 cards in total. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 60. Get one more analog card. Chubai glanced at the data panel, and the flesh and blood essence had reached 91 million/100 million. In other words, the promotion can be completed in a few days. But what he cares about most is, he is already in the state of the South China Tiger limit, and I don't know if he will gain new skills after breaking through the limit. Immediately, Chubai used an analog card. This time it was good luck. Obtained 5 million flesh essence. There are only 4 million left before the breakthrough, and it's time for the next analog card. Come to think of it, Chubai began to patrol the territory. He was ready to hunt elephants, such a huge animal, and the odds of getting a mock card were high. Before that, he had to take a shower first. Seeing Shanjun coming, Su Menjiao and the others were already familiar with the road. They lifted the pump in the RV, put the water pipe in the river, and then opened the valve, and the water poured down towards Chubai. He was lying on the ground. Let a few workers operate. Meanwhile, the live broadcast room was lively. Due to the fact that there are many new audiences, they are very surprised by the arrival of Shanjun, who loves to take a bath. In addition to that, it's about the hyena being blown away. Despite the drone's field of view, the crowd noticed the anomaly. With a roar, the hyena was shaken away. There are two possibilities. First, the mountain monarch had actually launched an attack. Second, the drone did not capture it. Wait, 3 tigers have entered the territory of the mountain lord. At this moment, a netizen said. The program team was very cooperative, and a small interface popped up in the live broadcast room, which was the 3 tigers. Haha, it's the Tiger King of Goryeo. After a while, the people of the universe became excited. The time has finally come. The appearance of the Tiger King of Goryeo was successful. Although it is only a small interface that pops up, it can be regarded as being known by people, which is a big step forward. Isn't this looking for death? Goryeo tiger dares to invade the territory of the mountain lord. As tigers, they should have discovered the mark left by the mountain king. Hey, hey. The Tiger King of Goryeo is not weak, right? The people of the universe explained and told everyone about the power of the Goryeo Tiger King. So far, the Goryeo Tiger King has killed 8 hyenas, 4 jackals, a leopard, and a lioness. The record can be called ferocious, worthy of the name of the Tiger King. AHH. Hyenas, jackals, leopards, lionesses. That's all you mean to say? For a while, netizens ridiculed. I'm sorry, it's not that I look down on Gaolahua, it's just that in front of Shanjun's record, I want to say that famous saying. Everyone who is doing it is rubbish. Rhinoceros, giant crocodiles, cheetahs, dozens of hyena legions, dozens of jackal legions. With such a record, Gaolahua is not worth mentioning. All netizens listed Shanjun's achievements like a few treasures. I have to say, this is indeed an exaggerated record. In fact, Goryeo Tiger's record is also good. But in the face of Shanjun's achievements, he was still far behind. It's not all. The Tiger King of Goryeo didn't encounter any big animals. If there is, I believe that the record of the Tiger King of Goryeo is no worse than that of the Mountain King. The people of the universe frantically explained it as a proof of the strength of the Goryeo Tiger King. Let's talk about the record. Without a record, everything is empty words. Then if you kill Shanjun, will it prove it? Are you talking nonsense? I'm laughing to death, can you say that? For a while, netizens were happy. Shanjun is so popular, it is all fought again and again. Can have tens of millions of fans to follow, and it is not blown out. Don't forget. The Goryeo Tiger King has 3 heads. The people of the universe were not convinced and became proud. The Mountain King is indeed very powerful, but our Goryeo Tiger King is not bad either. If it's a solo duel, the outcome is unknown. But the Goryeo Tiger King crushed the Mountain King in numbers, and it was hard to beat 4 hands with 2 fists. Quantity is justice. Wait. Gaolahua is approaching the vehicle. At this moment, netizens came to the spirit. The 3-headed Goryeo Tiger King was burly and domineering, which made the people of the universe excited. It's a pity. This is where the myth of the Mountain King ends. There was another question mark in the live broadcast room. By the way, where does your confidence come from? Naturally, it's the number of Korean tigers. Although the combat effectiveness of the tiger is strong and weak, it will never be too different, and the Goryeo tiger has 3 heads, can the Mountain King defeat 3 with 1? The people of the universe have come to the spirit. The live broadcast room was completely occupied by them. Gaulahu is finally the protagonist, can they not be excited? Even more excited than they themselves are the protagonist.